Alright, to make these hand fittings with pretty much nothing you have, like no professional tools, all you got is a grinder and some electrical tape. So I got it marked off here where I want to make my cut, and I'm going to take some electrical tape and wrap it around it. Kind of right about in the middle of the line that I made, the mark that I made. And what I try to do is I try to take the electrical tape and pull it as tight as I can, because you don't want this to fray or you'll never get your fitting on correctly. So what I'll do is I always pull it as tight as I can, and I always make 2 passes. Okay, so we got our grinder all set up here. I know there's no guard on it, don't say anything about that. I don't like making these hand fittings with guards on the grinder. When I go to cut this, what I like to do, pull it to me about firm, and then take the grinder and just walk it through the cut where you want to cut at. So there's our cut there. It didn't fray too bad. All of this you see is the electrical tape that frayed out. Oh yeah, and always leave a little extra when you cut them, just in case mess up that part of it. Then after you cut it, you're gonna want to spray brake clean down in here to clean all the dirt and grime off of it after cutting. Take your fitting in your line, and you just want to work that thing in there as good as you can. Try to get it as straight on as possible. Just like that, it's on. So now what I like to do is I like to take a ratchet and a socket and put on here and push pressure down on it while I tighten it down. And you kind of feel when it bottoms out. That means it's all the way up to the threads when you put your hand fitting down in here. So now what I want to do with this piece is I want to work it in here like this. And what I like to do is I like to put it in to tighten a little bit and then bring it back to hear that snap. That means the threads are lined up, and then you want to start tightening it. I like to get it down hand tight first, as much as I can. And then what I do, I take 2 wrenches. This is a -6 fitting, and only some fittings, the red is always going to be 3/4. So I take 1 wrench and put on here, and I take the other one, which is 11/16 on the blue end, and I just start to tighten it down. As you tighten the fitting down into this part of the fitting, it expands that steel braided line and the rubber line that's inside of it to make it tight. That's it. That's pretty much how you make hand fittings on your steel braided line.